Yeah, of course, obviously. Yeah. So we had not the best week, how you can imagine. It's not that we take the situation here really seriously. It's really important for us. And Tottenham was the worst game we played in the season so far, and that you cannot ignore it, but you have to work with it. That's what we did, and it can happen, especially with the style Huddersfield played today. So quite a rather defensive style. And we were a little bit stiff, so it was not fluent. We had too many players behind the ball. It was clear we wanted to give them no opportunity for counter-attack, stuff like this, but you don't need 7 players behind the ball, I would say, to protect the counter-attack, but that's how it looked a little bit first half. So it was not too difficult to fix in halftime, to be honest. We did it in the week already. The positioning where we have to be, where it's more difficult for any opponent than to defend it, and you could see it immediately in the second half. We had really with more players between the decisive lines, and also it was more difficult for Huddersfield to defend. We had then the first goal, yeah, of course, was I think Smith with the header, but we forced the situation with the pass and the positioning of Roberto and Daniel. So we could score that, and the second one after set piece felt like Christmas and everything, all the other nice events together that we score after a set piece. We had a lot of good set pieces today. And then the third one was a nice play. So we had more chances, but big relief, to be honest. The pressure was there. There's no doubt about that. And so you could see the people, I could even hear it. The people didn't like the first half too much. I know. It's hard work. It's not, at the end, nobody remembers probably the first half, because the second half was then really, it was much better. And, so helped a lot today. 3 goals, 3 points, clean sheet, very, very important.
Oh, do you have a question?
Thank you. Did yourself and David have a little chin wag afterwards, or are you going to leave that till later?
Gin.
Jurgen? A little kind of
Talk.
I noticed
Ah,
a little.
not sure if he drinks
from
gin.
your best man.
Yeah, no, we spoke already, but we will see. His whole family is here in the room, so I have to be really careful what I say. No, but we will see. We will see each other afterwards. Now in my
I hate to
little.
ask, but do you have the drink? Do you have a little drink? You know.
Who drives home? Yeah, probably will have. Yes, not sure.
Gentleman there.
Huddersfield Town's obviously a team you know quite well.
Yes.
Based on what you've seen today and this season, do you reckon they can stay up in the Premier League?
100%. I don't want to make pressure on the boys, but they mentality, attitude, style of play, quality, everything there what you need. But at the end, you need also luck. That's how it is. There will be a few close games. I saw the Swansea game in the when we did the analyze. Swansea was not better that day. Was not better. They was really brave, played football, and Swansea was in a pressing mood, I would say. And the 2 goals were a kind of presence. They made them, and but they had a chance as well. So yes, the potential is for sure there. That's already the best news you can get, and yeah, they have to. They will stay in league without points from Liverpool.
Graham.
Jurgen, you named the same back five. I mean, it didn't end up starting as the same back five. But what was your thinking? What was the psychology behind sticking with the back five that played against Spurs?
I thought it makes sense. That was the reason. So that's the only reason why we did it. So if something doesn't work, you can change everything, or you stick to what you did before. I was convinced before the Tottenham game that these boys are the right ones, and then I will not change after one very bad performance. So I'm not that confused, and that's all. But then we had to change, and you could see Rugby needed a little bit to find in the game, but it was very difficult for him. It was, I think, 2 minutes before we went in with the squad. It was not a real warming up for him. You can imagine, as a player, as a sub, they are not in the mood to start in the next second. But then in the first half, struggled a little bit, but then second half was really good, and so good news for us.
Final 2 in here, Andy, and then I'm going to go to kick.
It was the last pass. Maybe you saw it. They were passing with Joel, and then Dejan were exchanging passes, and then in the last one he felt something in the muscle. I don't know exactly. We had no time. The only question I asked in the dressing room was, or the therapy room was yes or no, and I got a no, and then we changed.
Muscle in his back again, or is
No, groin, I think. Sorry. Thigh.
Final question, kicker, and then we're going.
It's early in the season. Ranking is not so important, but how important is to be still in hitting distance to the top four?
I think you're pretty alone with this view on the things.
The coaches say
I don't. Yeah, but what can I? If you are not in a good position, you have to ignore the position. So if you're in a good position, you don't have to ignore it. Obviously, we are not in that good position, but it's not about our season. I don't have to explain it again and again and again. We had much more good games this season than everybody can see when you watch our points. That's how it is. But we had one really bad one, and the whole world watched it against Tottenham. So we don't ignore the performances before, and we don't ignore the Tottenham game. That's all. So now, today it was really difficult for us to stay patient enough to do the right things in the right moment. Huddersfield played like they played against United. So, and that was like they were really successful in that game. So it could have been possible that they are successful here like this. That's really difficult to play in the counter-attacks you have to avoid. And we avoided it. So that was what the boys did really well. And so happy about that. But not more. I don't even know in which position we are. So you can imagine. Obviously it's not good.
Okay, as soon as we've finished in that, that's it. Thank you very much. Just do 2 minutes.